Hello and welcome to my video about Restoration Shaman tips for the first 10 bosses in Heroic Siege of Orgrimmar. My experience is purely 10 man, but I believe these tips can be used in both 10 and 25 man raiding. Some of these tips can be specific towards our use tactic on certain bosses. First up is Immerses. Always keep an eye on the DPS when the debuff stacks up. Everyone can do a mistake and get too many stacks. Always make sure to dispel when they go towards 5+ stacks. Communication with the other healers is key when there is 2 or more DPS getting high stacks. Spirit Link Totem can be a lifesaver during this role. Pop it close to as many as possible and be vocal about it so people know it's coming before you cast it. When Immerses splits, use Ghost Wolf and run to your designated spot. Use Spirit Walker's Grace and spam Healing Surge on as many puddles as possible. The more you heal them, the slower they move, so split out your healing at the start. Mana should not be a problem since you can stand close to the puddles and regain a lot of mana when they are tapped. The Fallen Protectors. This is not a hard encounter to heal in, it's all about dealing with the desperate measures. Save Ascendance for Sun's desperate measure. Everyone should be nicely stacked and this helps you make the most out of your Ascendance. Healing Tide should be used if Sun's AoE is getting buffed a lot. You can see this by a buff Sun has on herself. It resets on desperate measures. Depending on your raid, use Healing Rain where it will be most beneficial, either on the ranged or the melee. Northern. We use 2 healers in this fight just because it's a very tight enrage on the boss. You should consider letting other healers, depending on their class, cleanse themselves first. This is because a Restoration Shaman is very well equipped to deal with the massive AoE damage in the later parts of the fight. Spirit Walker's Grace is a godsend on this fight. If it's a late part of the fight and you have to dance around the boss because of blind hatred, combine this with Ascendance and you should have no problem healing everyone. Your healing stream totem works in the intermission phase. Shaft Pride. Now this is an interesting fight for us Restoration Shamans. We have to be mobile a lot in this fight and that makes it a little hard to cast hard cast spells. The healer should rotate using a cooldown right before Swelling Pride hits. You should use Healing Tide about 3 to 4 seconds before Swelling Pride hits. After 30%, when everyone is at 0 pride, you should dispel whenever possible, unless you're struggling with killing him fast enough. This is to keep yourself from reaching 100 pride too fast. Galacross. I don't have any tips for Restoration Shamans specifically on this fight. Iron Juggernaut. The only tips I can give on this fight depends on your tactic. We use the one where you are knocked into the far corner and heal through the second phase. If you are using this tactic, you should time cooldowns with other healers. Also, Spirit Link can save you a wipe here if used correctly. Dark Shamans. I have only healed the tanks tanking Harum. On Harum, you should use Unleash Elements buff on Healing Raid. Set it so you and the other healer is in it. The 2 of you take a lot of damage from the poison debuff. Since the tanks are switching on Harum, recast Earth Shield on the tank that is currently tanking. Nazgrim. The main tip for this fight is, if you don't have a shield in your offhand, consider changing to one even if it's a lower item level. When you get targeted by the Hunterhead, the extra 20k armor helps a lot. As you did on Dark Shamans, recast Earth Shield on the tank tanking Nazgrim when they switch. Try and save cooldowns in case a warzone goes through. Your Earthbind totem and Capacitor totem should be used as often as possible on this fight. Malkrok. When you pull, pop Ascendance as soon as melee is stacked and spam Chainmail and Healing Rain. This is to top off everyone's shield as fast as possible. Pop Healing Tide the second you are able to heal behind the shield in the second phase. You can consider using the talent Ancestral Guidance on this fight, so you have another cooldown to use when you have to top off shields again. Coils of Pandaria. Time your cooldowns on the boss grades. On the Mugu side they burst really hard every 10 or so seconds. Everyone needs to be tapped in between these. If you time Ascendance correctly, you can have it to heal through 2 bursts of damage. If you think the raid will die when you get bombs on the Cloxy side, pop Healing Tide and run away with the bombs. When you have the healer buff, help range deal with the red sparks. You do about 70 to 80% of their health in a single shot. They will be very grateful for it. Thank you for watching through my entire video. This is one of the first videos I have ever made discussing World of Warcraft or using my voice interactively in the video. So if you can give me any criticism to what I can change in the future, I would be very grateful. Thank you.